CoinLogic TV, where we are looking logically at crypto assets. I am your host, The Logical Dude, your favorite van life living, crypto investing digital nomad. Hope you guys are doing great today. I am very blessed to have my friend Jacuzzi on the line. He is with the team of DBuzz, which is built on the Hive blockchain. It is a microblogging platform. So think of Twitter, but actually like decentralized, and you can't get your stuff, taken down. You get to keep your account and you get to keep your data. So how are you doing today, man? Thanks for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure. Love to be here. Thanks for the shout out and for inviting me onto the show. I have to admit, a first time watcher and first time listener as we talk here, but hopefully I want to hear more of your podcast coming up here.
That's all right,
thanks
man.
for having me.
Well, no, I appreciate you coming on. You are a bit of a world traveler, so I forgive you for not being, watching, because you're all over the place doing all kind of stuff, man. So that's good stuff. So thank you for taking the time to be with me. And I want to talk to you today about DBuzz and kind of like, what you guys have going on with that. What got you started with that, the idea of the microblogging platform on Hive?
Well, I wish I could take credit for myself, but it wasn't my initial idea. A guy named Nathan Seen and Chris Rice, they were the initial kids who talked about it in the Philippines. They came up with this idea for freedom of speech, and they noticed a blue sea, if you would, to sail on. And so the idea of taking short form content and putting it on the Hive blockchain. And they brought me on as just the content guy. I'd write content and do some of the graphics in the back end. But then late last year, Chris stepped off to do some personal stuff, and I stepped up to the management responsibility. But man, it's so much stuff. Like you touched on it. It's your account, and you can't take down the keys, and that's the most important thing, because we all, at least I had a few accounts taken away. I had some Instagram accounts taken away, and my Facebook was shut down one time for no apparent reason. And to me, that's just not cool.
It's not, and that was one thing that brought me to the space. Was not only going down the rabbit hole of crypto, but it was the whole once I realized that I could earn money, back when it was Steam and now Hive. Once I realized that I could earn some money, I was looking for an alternative to mining, because I was getting ready to live this rock star lifestyle, and you can't really mine in a van. Trust me, I've tried. It's not feasible. I had the little USB miners. I was trying everything, but couldn't keep it up. So I had to step up the content. But anyway, but the problem is with Hive in a lot of ways is that not everybody is all about the long form content. We got to have some of that short form. Because what I'm finding is that people's attention spans are about the size of a gnat. And so even sometimes 280 characters is a little too much, but but that also puts us down a rabbit hole of a whole different short form communication can turn into a good or a bad thing. What are your thoughts on that?
It's true. It's very true. It's good and bad. And, the thing is, if you go out there, there's several ways we could talk about this. One, we could look at just you hanging out at the night with your friends and you want to talk about what's going on. You post a short update. Hey, I'm at the club with my friends. Check it out. It's short form content. Might not be worth $100 upvote. I give you that. But still, it's documenting human life. It's documenting existence. And then the other side, the other flip of the coin, it's like when the Arab Spring was happening, and the uprising there. People use social media, especially Twitter, to talk about where they were. So now if a government had that control and they could take away your accounts of the people organizing all that, those guys wouldn't be able to have had the Arab Spring happen. And I think, having this platform that you could do short, quick updates of what's happening in the world, where you're at, for either political reasons or for personal fun reasons, like I just chugged a beer, tweet that stuff, or we're doing a revolution over here, come join us. These are two sides of the coin, which short form content's perfect for. There's so much use for it, even just beyond those two dichotomies, those two sides of things. I see a huge market for it, especially when you start getting to video. We have 60-second video clips up now, and that opens up the door for a short video too. And we're looking to start doing stuff with sound files. So, make this the one big platform for all these micro things that you just want to start sharing with the world.
Well, that's awesome. So so you have 60-second videos that people can put up. That's really good to know. I've actually been trying to format some of my quick look videos to be the limit for Twitter, the 2 minute and 20 second limit for Twitter. But that's good to know for 60 seconds. because then I can shorten it down even more, put it up on DBuzz, then go to Twitter. Because honestly, DBuzz is more important because I own my content there, where Twitter I don't, and it gets lost in the sea of twatter trash is what I like to call it. But
Too much mess up there. I try to get on there a few days. I get on Twitter every now and then. I try to send some messages, but
it's that
I don't get anything back.
it's that unnecessary evil. Like we have to, kind of use it in a lot of cases. Because I am in a situation where I'm not just dealing with like Hive and or just dealing with one platform or another. I'm dealing with several different platforms. I've been getting bigger in the Cosmos space. I'm working with, a node validator company and that kind of thing. So I've been doing a lot of stuff there, getting into DAOs with like, Binance Smart Chain and Polygon. I got a whole music platform I'm building over there. And then I've got my Hive stuff. So it's, I got to keep a mix. So you got to stay out there on Twitter, kind of thing, because that's actually where at least the crypto talk is at. I haven't seen a whole lot on Facebook or.
No, it's there.
For now, it's there,
Yeah.
but it gets, there's a lot of stuff that happens there and gets shadow banned a lot. But what are your thoughts? I gotta put it out there. What are your thoughts on Elon trying to buy Twitter? I have my thoughts.
Well, I sent him a tweet the other day saying that you should come down here and look at buying DBuzz. Drop us. We won't charge the 45 billion. We'll only charge maybe 10 billion, and you could buy us. That's fine. Then let's. Decentralized Twitter is already here. It's already there. Short form content. Just come on in. Half the price.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. Throw that offer in there.
That's some crazy stuff. Just that amount of money is just mind-boggling to me.
Well, what people are like, my argument this morning, with a couple of people there were that just because you are going from, a centralized group of rich people to one rich person does not help the situation at all, and, because he's going to have his own views and stuff. Now, I do, like the fact that he is pro free speech, but he's also pro putting a microchip in your head too.
It has pros and cons to it.
You got his pros and cons, you got his pros and cons, so I would rather trust the people. I'd rather trust these decentralized platforms. So, because I'm trying to get more on DBuzz. It got to where, for a while I was thinking that whole, I got down the money train, and being that, some of your short form stuff that you go through DBuzz doesn't quite get the reward structure through Hive, because the old guard Taskmaster and I talked a lot about this too. The old guard likes that long form content, but what I'm seeing is that now, you can hit one place to then market to two different platforms, and you're not just doing the short form. You can also share your post, like with 3Speak. That 3Speak has that awesome little buzz button, so you can come in and buzz your video to remind people that, hey, check this out. And that's the way that you can go to Twitter and actually get paid for your Twitter use. That's what people don't think about.
Well, you touched on a lot of really interesting topics, and to unpack this all.
Coffee's hitting and I'm rambling, so.
Oh, no, I don't have my coffee. I only got my AC going. But
that's good
you
enough.
mentioned, posting and sharing on other platforms. Then you touched on the idea of that old guard kind of holding back some stuff. I wasn't quite sure where in this talk I could tell you about it, but we're working with the SPK team, and we just, literally my developer today sent me a link. We now have a DBuzz Lite setup, which DBuzz Lite is that using MetaMask, you can make an account on DBuzz and start posting content. So that means now you can log in with this, and we're going to make another aggregator to maybe link to Blurt and other ones as well. So it's going to be an easy on-ramp. And what's nice about it, you have Hive. Okay, you have Hive, and you have the MetaMask, which is going to be logging into an account program called Ceramic. So we have this Ceramic database, and then we have DBuzz, or Hive. So when you post, you'll be pulling information off Hive into this database, and everything will be read off this. So you still will earn your Hive tokens, but then you'll also have everything backed up on a second database. And on the second database, we can start earning second level rewards, like the Buzz token, which that's another thing we'll be rolling out this year after we finish the integration.
Yeah, we were going to get into that too, yeah.
Oh man, sorry, I don't mean jumping the gun.
No, man, it's all good, man. Let's just wrap it. Let's do it.
But yeah, just the idea that you can log in, and now your content, if you're logging in just with MetaMask, your content won't be on Hive. It'll just be on our Ceramic database, which is also decentralized and has redundancy. So it's backed up and secure. So okay, maybe you don't want your stuff on Hive because you don't want to be blacklisted or people don't like your short form content there. No problem. You can start making the buzzes on a separate platform over here, and only when you want, connect them back to DBuzz. So maybe the night drinking people don't like, so you keep that off of it, but then people like your other stuff, so you put that stuff on it. And now, we start developing this really cool back and forth play.
Yeah, and see, I think that's what we need a little bit more of that. Because one thing, too, that some people, and this is a pushback that I get when I'm introducing people to Hive and that kind of thing, is the fact that, oh, well, it's on a blockchain forever, kind of thing. Some people might not like that aspect. I mean, it is kind of backed up, but what I'm loving is that you guys are helping fix the actual onboarding, because that is the other big pain point with trying to sell people on Hive is the onboarding. And when you have guys like you with, like y'all's projects, same as like what Leo and even 3Speak and stuff is doing, is trying to make that onboarding a lot easier for people. So, and from what I understand, that's kind of what y'all's the Buzz token's all about. Do you want to talk about that and how that's going to lead into like the account creations and that kind of thing?
100%. So you touched on it. How do we get people into the deep end of the pool? I think back to a story when the first time I started doing martial arts. There was a martial arts studio in the building that I lived in, and I was always hesitant to go in, a little bit scared to walk in the door, because people fighting, punching each other. But I slowly walked in one day and I met the guy. We sat down and watched a class, and I worked with him one-on-one for a little bit, but then eventually got into class. 8 years later, a second-degree black belt, teaching people, doing all the throws with them. And so it's the idea of bringing people in slowly with things that they understand, not just throwing them into the deep end. The Hive account, you get 5 different passwords, 16 different keys, and how do you set it up? But I think, MetaMask, for the most part, even though I believe it's owned by JP Morgan, is a nice way to kind of ease people into the crypto space. They understand. I think more people know MetaMask than they know Hive tokens and passwords. So you can make an account, and now maybe you start earning Buzz tokens. And when you get to a certain level of Buzz tokens, you can buy a Hive account with it. So you'll be able to sell those Buzz tokens on the internal market, as the second level market, directly into Hive, and then those 3 Hive tokens you get is what the witnesses set to buy a Hive account, right? So you sell the Buzz tokens, get the Hive, burn those Hive, get your Hive, official Hive account, and now you have the keys. All in one nice transaction when you're kind of used to posting and buzzing and getting the feel of things.
Yeah, excellent.
That's the vision. It's not built yet, but that's the roadmap that we're aiming towards.
Well, see, if y'all are if you're using the MetaMask functionality, what people also can remember too is that you can use the Brave browser wallet instead of MetaMask. So you don't even have to install the extension if you're using the Brave browser on your computer, because those smart guys have included that kind of functionality directly into their browser.
I did not even know that.
Yes, they have.
Oh.
Now, I think it's still like, limited a bit in beta kind of thing, but yeah, it works. So if you're using like Ethereum based stuff like that, I think it's still limited on the additional networks. You may be able to add those at this point. I haven't checked because I still use MetaMask, but it is an option out there for people. That's just because I'm stuck on it right now. That's what I started with before they came out with that function. But just to let everybody know.
I'm on the Brave browser right now, and I got the little fox looking at me. So yeah, I
love those guys, man. Yeah, I've been with those devs, from the beginning. Helping support them. Actually, feedback that my son and I have given has actually made changes in the app, which is pretty cool. And those, you can go direct to, Samson or Brandon Ike and be like, hey, this is what I want to see, and they will actually respond, and it's pretty cool. So like their ad thumbs up and thumbs down thing that they've got now, yeah, that was from the dude and his son. So that was actually my boy's feedback. He was like, I want to be able to like say I'm done with an ad, or like thumbs up and thumbs down. Cool. Got on Twitter with Samson. Like 3 days later, it was done. It's pretty cool.
Where it's at. That's where it's at. It's about to have that connection. I think that's what decentralization brings to us, right? It brings the able to be able to connect with more people
It
and
brings
make
that
stuff happen.
community, it does. And those of us that have been around for a while understand, and we're still like, there's still those of us that are still around that believe in that decentralization, the whole fruits of why we're here, the freedom of everything, the outside of the traditional systems, and we're fighting with all these new, investors, either these new kids coming in on the NFTs or these institutional investors that are coming in from the traditional side, and they're all wanting to integrate the traditional stuff in with what we're building, and I don't like it, but it is what it is, and but
I think
I love platforms that are, that still feel that, cypherpunk, base kind of thing, and like that free speech and the whole full decentralization. That's why I don't like
you
chains
like
like Solana and stuff like that.
you like cyberpunk, but you don't want to put a chip in your head.
No chips in my head. I can do it naturally. It's all good.
Okay.
I believe in decentralization and freedom. Putting a chip in my head is not freedom at all. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I want to still be able to control the machines, not the machines control me.
The future is gonna be a wild place. The future. You look 10 years down the road, and I really hope that the Hive blockchain is still chunking along, spitting out blocks, and we have a second layer, maybe even a third layer systems all working together. But who knows where we're gonna be in 10 years and how this technology is all gonna twine, and even if people are still gonna be using Hive or DBuzz, and the future of how can we back up this data, and how can we, for future archaeologists, eventually one day come in and find this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think having redundancy, right? Having multiple systems where you store your content and your voice and your ideas. So yeah, Hive is great, but then we can also back it up on a second database, maybe even a third or fourth database.
Now,
Gives you redundancy.
can you elaborate on the ceramic side of things at all? Do you know anything about that? Like, what, as far as like how is that decentralized versus like, say we're like with Hive when we have the witness structure and that kind of thing.
So great question, and I need to put this in parentheses and brackets that I am not a developer.
Neither am I. I'm a WordPress dude.
And writing and management. But from my talks with the development team, and also we're working with the SPK team, and those guys over the SPK team, they're on it, man. I love them. Every time I hear them talk and we get on a little bit of a Discord chat, my mind is expanded with what they can do. So a lot of what we have done here, I have to give full credit to them helping out. They're working with our lead developer at this time, working on all this stuff. So again, my understanding of how it works is a little bit different, might not be correct. So please don't judge me on it. But from what I understand, yes, our database will be shared. It's kind of like an IPFS database, or shared across decentralizedness in that sort of sense. It's not backed up on a blockchain, but it will have redundancy and shared.
Yeah.
But then, when you post stuff, you can also be posting to Hive and maybe even to Blurt in the future. And we're looking at other ways to reach out and connect other social media chains as well. So then you'll have that data backed up in different places. And that's, I believe, the decentralization that it has. I could be wrong with that, but I think that is correct.
Oh, okay. So now for your token structure, you guys gonna be using like the Deluxe platform, like they are with the Speak tokens, or are you guys gonna be kind of running your own like token structure for the Buzz token?
We haven't yet really looked into what is going to work best. Ideally, I would love. I'm a Hive. I think I love Hive. I want to try to keep as much of our stuff on that platform as possible. So maybe we already have a Buzz token that is minted or at least secure for us on our internal Hive engine, right?
Oh, Hive
so we have that token.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have that token, but it's not outside the realm of possibilities to maybe do a wrap token on another one, like a Ethereum wrap or Polygon wrapped Buzz token, and have them all connected.
Well, I was
But we
just
haven't
really,
gotten far.
yeah, okay, yeah. I was wondering if you guys were going to be using Hive Engine or if you're going to be using the Deluxe platform, like what Speak's using, because Speak's using their like with the Larynx token and everything. You have to go through the Deluxe platform to go and claim that. They're not doing it on Hive Engine, so and I get that. Hive Engine has its pluses and minuses. I've got all my pride, and I say that as a dude that runs a witness node for the Hive Engine. You know, I think I'm like number 9 witness for the Hive engine right now, and like I've got multiple tokens and communities built, you know, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, no, I like what they're doing also on Deluxe. So I was just curious. I didn't know. I'm just, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's about decentralization. It's
It
not
is.
just about having one silo, right? If we only had one, then we're centralized. But now Deluxe and this, I hope there's a few other ones that come up and we could build tokens on multiple
Yeah.
different
Well, I know
platforms.
Block Trades is working on their like Dhive situation as well. We're basically like almost like a WordPress kind of situation for Hive, and I think, you know, their version of smart media tokens. I think that's all going to be coming in the future. But yeah, I've heard them talking about that and a couple of different things. But it is what it
That's
is.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
man. There's so much coming. It's insane. Like it's hard to keep up with
I
everything.
can't keep up with it all. I read, I log on every day, I look at the Hive feed, I look at stuff going on, I try to read the news, but then just here in the last few seconds of talking with you, all these new ideas coming and just,
Yeah, man.
I don't know how it keeps up with all the news coming out every day.
I got to do stuff like this. This is how I keep up with,
Mm.
you know, because I'm just, you know, I'm trying to learn, you know, so that I can help, you know, I guess fulfill my spot in the crypto industry. I guess is kind of where I'm at now, you know.
Well, you're doing some really great things, and you know, I mentioned it to you
Well,
before.
thank
If
you.
there's any way we could do a collaboration or a crossover, I would love to help support growing the logical dude in your platform too.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to be using the DBuzz platform a lot for. I'm trying to change up some of my content for CoinLogic, especially just because it's hard to build, you know, from ground up a new account kind of thing. My Logical Dude account has definitely way more of an outreach, so I'm going to be starting to put a lot of my videos more on the Logical Dude account and then doing a lot more short form like TA kind of signal posts, things like that through DBuzz. I'm wanting to focus that, and then the Hive List project. I'm wanting to use DBuzz for the Hive List project and actually like doing little short posts for things for sale, you know, that are out there on the classifieds market. You know, I help advertise things like that, but using DBuzz to do that, you know, kind of thing, versus just focusing on the long form posts and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to bring together a lot of my stuff and just use the platforms that are out there to the best of my abilities, you know, and to bring everything together. You know, I try to bring it all together, man, because we gotta love each other, man.
Do you know about the pockets feature we have?
That I don't know. I'm learning stuff now too.
Oh, so on DBuzz we have pockets, where you can go to your profile page and you'll see a little option that says pockets, and you can make a pocket, and that means any buzz you can add to a specific pocket. So I think right now we have a cap on maybe 5 or 7 specific pockets. So you can have one about travel, one about pizza, one about logical things, money, and so any post you could drop into those individual silos. So now you could share with people just that pocket link, and they can see all the posts for this. And it doesn't just have to be yours. So if you're surfing on DBuzz and you see other interesting things like travel places you want to go, you just keep collecting all these things about Greece or Spain or India in different pockets, and you could share that with the world. And so, you know, that's
That's
one
cool.
way. Maybe with your list, you can start organizing, you know, things for sale, people buying.
Yeah, definitely. We could try to come out. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good to know because I did see something on the like the little announcements that pops up on the home screen. I did see that. Um, One piece of feedback, and I don't know if it's added, but like on mobile, it's hard to when that little alert pops up on the home screen. It's like every time, you know. So if y'all could figure out a way to cache that, you know, to where it would be like I hit it one time and then it goes away, you know, for the rest of the time that I'm using DBuzz, that would be cool. But that would be my only feedback on that. But I did see that pockets alert this morning when I looked at that, and I was curious about what that was all about. So that's good to know. I will definitely check into that and use that. And like I said, I will be doing an overview video. So there's actually an overview video that's going to precede this interview for being launched. So I will get into the pockets on that. Good stuff.
Well, you know, we're currently our development team right now is a little bit short staffed. We're down to one lead developer we're working with
Oh,
right
wow.
now. So that guy is cranking through stuff. We are interviewing some other developers. We might be hiring on a new junior developer shortly to help us.
Okay.
So our burn down chart is not quite burning down as fast as we hope it would. But we're working towards things. You know, these updates that you mentioned are, man, if we had. No, I like hearing these feedbacks. So it lets us stay on track. You know, if we just had a tenth of the money that Elon Musk was offering Twitter there, we can hire on a team and really push this project forward leaps and bounds. Right now, I believe in transparency, and we talked about it before, but this project is all being self-funded through Dataloft and Nathan Seen. He's the guy paying the salary, he pays my salary, the team's salary. And right now, DBuzz, besides the money we earn off of posts, which most of that just goes to paying for community event projects like our Monday missions or photography Fridays or handing out 10 Hive a week to different people, most of the money goes towards that. So we haven't yet reached a profitability model.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we hope with the DBuzz token. And in the future, we have a few other things we might offer, like, I don't want to do it this way, but like maybe premium services, such as, locked content unless you pay a subscriber cost to that author. Like if you had an account, maybe you can have the account locked. And when someone pays to subscribe to it, then it gets unencrypted for that individual person.
So, well, one thing that you could do on that end, and you can actually probably utilize the Hive recurring payments function, is actually turn it into more of like a Patreon style thing, to where you give people the ability to have their free stuff out there, but then you can have paywalled stuff as well, like specialty stuff. So go ahead and take care of that in 2 platforms. I mean, in one platform, 2 different kind of like, things. That could be a great way to go about that in my, just me running.
Keep bringing the ideas. I love them. And yes, that's kind of the vision. Keep finding these little ways to add value, but we don't want to sell out. It's so easy just to start slapping ads up everywhere and old flying things and I don't know, Pornhub over here, who knows? But no, we don't want to put those things up and just sell out. We're about keeping it true.
Well, you could do like a promoted post kind of thing, but even like the promoted post on Hive, I don't think it really goes to the platform. Like I know with Hive List, if you promote a post, it actually just burns the list token. So it's a little different than, I was thinking, I don't know. Yeah, ad revenue is a whole beast, and that's where it gets into, we go back into that. It's where we're basically backtracking to that Web 2 world, and I don't like seeing that. Like on CoinLogic, so if you go to coin-logic.com, the only ads or banners that you are going to see are from people that pay me directly. So, or I am partnered with in one fashion or another, kind of thing. Nice. Or it's something that I believe in truly. I've had random stuff, float back and forth, or if it's something that I use. Like if it's not anything that I use, you will not see it on that site or any of my sites. I decided against, the whole ad revenue thing for Hive List specifically for that reason as well, is because I don't want a bunch of random banners and stuff floating around. And that's the same thing with all of my projects. It's all just post-based, post and curation-based. It takes a lot of work to, make that happen. And none of these projects, like you said, this is all self-funded. None of us are VC funded. I'm not VC funded. I brought when I quit Apple, I sold everything and put it into these businesses. Like that's where this was all funded from,
Brilliant.
And
nice.
Yeah, it's all self-funded. So it is what it is. We're not VC based, and we don't have, I've tried to put out tokens for sale, but that didn't really fly.
Some of those tokens, they're in my pocket.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah. But it's but a lot of it is actually like I didn't really put them out for sale. It was more I was trying to be as fair use with the distribution, because I'm looking at my projects as my gift, I guess, to humanity. It's my taking what I know and kind of like, here you go. This is something for something for the community. Not necessarily making the dude rich at all, but I am trying to put something out there in the world, because I believe in human capital, I believe in people building community, and I feel like that's what you guys are trying to do too, is you guys are trying to build community, so and that's
we are. Another way we're looking to build a community. One idea we are playing with for funding we haven't yet settled on it, but the idea of taking DBuzz and open sourcing it. So like do a hive proposal and say, hey, for X number of funding for the year, we will now open source our code and we'll keep working on it and developing it. And that's one avenue we're also looking at to secure funding to, help us grow, because we want to take on 5 or 6 more developers. We want to take on a couple more graphic teams and really, push this thing forward. But you hit the wall of just how much money can you put into it before, you have to see some levels. And one thing we're looking for is user count. If we can hit 1,000 daily users, then, we might get some additional funding, or if the Buzz token, and that can start generating some income. And, we pay our salary, but then we also want to invest more into building this and then, have it for the community to use. Like you said, give back and build something, your legacy that you leave behind.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could even, I'm looking at things like, DAOs and that kind of thing for funding purposes. Yeah, you got the Hive DAO, but I'm actually looking like even off of Hive. You could actually do it using like a Hive account for the transparency kind of situation. But like I'm partnered up with a team called XDAO, and they have built probably one of the best DAO building platforms that is out there right now. They work with all the different EVM chains, even some of the Polkadot chains and that kind of thing, like Moonbeam and stuff. But basically, it is like you get governance tokens, liquidity tokens, which would be, your ERC20 that represents the amount locked up in the DAO. But what I love about it is the fact that you can build these DeFi-backed DAOs. And what we're doing, like with Blocktunes, is basically the money that comes into the DAO, we're putting it to work in these farms, and it's building as yield. So we're just automatically making these funds, and that's eventually what's going to help push and drive the development and that kind of thing. We're going to be paying dividends out to token holders and some of our NFT contracts as well. That's how we're building like a referral system through NFTs as well, because I can pay out different contracts. I can pay dividends out. But what's cool is they actually just, and this is going to be one of my videos this week that's coming out, is they actually now have a payment functionality to where you can actually pay out your employees and that kind of stuff automatically from the DAO. So they have a lot of awesome stuff, and that could be something that you guys look into. Like I said, it's off of Hive, but it could be a way for you guys to have like a DAO kind of situation built to where y'all can build like a recurring fund. It's what I'm doing for my business, and what I'm actually, because I'm actually about to be taking over like my parents' management and that kind of thing. I'm gonna be doing it a lot for them. But now you got stuff like, what we got with, you can build it on, like Polygon and use like the Polycub kind of situation to where they've got the BHBD and USDC earning like 40-something%. So that way your base is stable and you're just earning yield, So just a thought, throw something out there. Check it out. XDAO, quick little technical difficulty, and we're back. Apparently there are underwater sharks where you are at that bite the internet lines in the ocean. So that's probably what happened. Jaws came and got a little shock. So we are back. So yeah, we were, actually, I honestly forgot what we were talking about.
Well, we're talking about all sorts of technology and Hive and tokens and DAOs.
We were talking about DAOs, yeah. So check it out. xdao.app would be a great way for you guys to probably be able to, kind of build yourself a nice little like foundation, like a foundational base. Is that way it's also transparent, it's multi-sig. You can, when I say it's multi-sig, it's basically like anybody that holds a governance token has a vote in what happens with the DAO. So y'all can all vote on the payments and what happens with the funds and that kind of thing. It's really cool. So you should check that out for DBuzz.
That is super cool. You have to let me know when you put your coin up on that, and I'll pick up a handful of those tokens as well, because I believe in what you're doing.
Go check out blocktunes.net. We actually have our DAO built there. You can go and find the information, more info there. But yeah, that's where we're building our DAO, and like we're using PancakeSwap. We got a couple of farms going in PancakeSwap that's earning the cake tokens, and that's what we're going to be paying distribution and that kind of thing. So
fascinating, man. There's too many things to keep up with every day. I'm just focused on a little bit of development here. They tell us new development technologies and trying to get the content and articles out every day. Not to mention trying to have a social life, a meager little social life, and go on a date every now and then. And Gotta have a team of people.
I hear you, man. I gave up on that, man. I'm a gray-headed 40-year-old, or I'm turning 40 in next month, but gray-headed 40-year-old dude with two older kids, man. So it's like my thing with that is I'm not raising anybody else's kids, and if you're my age and you ain't got a kid, there's probably something wrong with you.
Well, bro,
Or you just don't bat from my side, that kind of thing. That's a thing these days. That's what happened to me and my ex-wife. She started batting the other side. So.
Myself.
Huh?
I'm 43.
Well, there you go. Yeah, hey, it gives me hope. Giving me hope.
Living in Vietnam.
Giving me hope. No, I think that's what it's going to take is me to get out of the States because, like, it seems like all of my good friends are like, like I had two friends from the Florida Keys as I used to live down there. Two, they found their wives in Costa Rica.
Honestly, I love America. I think America's a great country. Don't get me wrong.
I love my country. Yeah. I love my country, hate my government. There's two different things. Yeah. Love my country, hate my government. Yeah.
I don't hate all of it. I think it has a lot of bad issues, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things need to be changed. But living outside of America, especially using the Hive platform to earn some income, has opened up a new way to live, right? Like without Hive, I wouldn't have been able to make most of the travel that I've done in life already, and just that potential. One of my friends here, Trang Baby, I'm gonna give her a shout out on here. I got her going on the Hive platform, and she's been rocking and rolling. I'm so happy to see that it has changed the lives of these other people. And I think as more of our platforms start developing, like DBuzz and 3Speak, and even in your platforms, we could change the lives of so many people. Maybe not in America where the cost of living is so high, but around the world, there's so much option and opportunity now to have people grow and find abundance.
And that's what I love. And that's why, I was talking about building human capital because I'm having, I'm having an impact on people's lives in other parts of the world where it's like, and I get messages all the time and it's like, dude, thank you for this. This is a wealth of information. For me, I'm just like, whatever. So I'm putting out stuff, but you don't realize what kind of an impact you could be making for somebody else. And so that has changed the game for my content creation as well, because I grew up, I'm, Alabama boy, born, raised here in the States kind of thing. And, I've been in different places. So I've seen different cultures of the States and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I've been to a couple of places outside the country, but hearing a perspective like that and hearing perspective from other people, like we got a big group of hivers out of like Africa and out of, Middle Asia. And, you got people in the Philippines and South America and stuff. And it's like, what we look at here in the States is like, could be, it's like, oh, I only made, a couple of bucks on that post. It's like, but dude, like that couple of bucks for somebody else could be food for a week, and it's like, I'm thinking on that level, and it's like I'm changing people's lives in other parts of the world. I may not see it, I may not be living the freshest lifestyle, that kind of thing, but bills are paid. I'm eating ramen in a lot of cases, but it is what it is. I'm glad I'm making an impact on other people. It means something to me. It means more than, my portfolio getting fat. It's more about building that human capital.
I feel you. I feel you with that 100%. It reminds me of a story. In America, I ran a circus for 10 years. And so we did a lot of fun stuff. And I remember one day we went to Home Depot. And my friend and I were trying to build a bed of nails. And so we find a guy in Home Depot, and we're like, hey, we want to build a bed of nails. Can you help us find some stuff? And this Home Depot guy was just like, well, a bed of nails. Okay, and you need this and this and this. And he walked us around. Okay, we left. We come back a week later, we're trying to build a set of stilts. We find the same guy out of just random happenstance. And we say, hey, can you help us build a set of stilts? And he's like, a set of stilts, okay, here. I think we did this one other time with like trying to make a walking flamingo puppet. We find the same guy. I don't even think about this interaction, right? This blows past me and just the daily stuff. But then maybe like 3 years down the road, my friend and I are performing at this event. We're walking around stilts and costumes being silly, and this guy comes over, and he's just like, hey, do you remember me? And I say, no, I don't know who you are, but okay, hey, high five. But then we get down, I go find him, and I say hi. I'm like, yeah, I didn't recognize you, but what can I help you with? He said, a few years ago, I was working in Home Depot as a floor clerk, right? And you guys came over and you asked me about a bed of nails. You asked me about a set of stills and a flamingo thing. You know, I was really depressed because I was selling, I thought the world was HEPA filters. I thought the world was only bolts. I didn't realize that there was creativity. And interactions with you and some other people got me inspired. And
That's
so this
awesome.
guy, he then started his own architectural company, Tim Hagen Architectural Firm, and he started doing architectural projects. And then a year later from that, he introduced us to a facility that we eventually acquired and started teaching circus arts in. So, you know, these interactions, just like you're saying, you know, sometimes you don't even think about that stuff. You just fly past you. But for someone else, it's like a precious moment
Yeah.
that you change lives. This media you're making, you don't think about it, but someone else, you change them.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like it's the small things that make such a big difference, in
Yeah.
people's lives. And yeah, and we overlook that because people like in Western societies, we're all looking out for that big moment. We all want to make it big. When we're overlooking the small little steps that we got to take to get to those big moments, or the small little moments that have to happen before that, and we take all those little small moments for granted. And I'm over the past few years, especially being involved with the Hive community, I I never understood that until now. That you've
Mm.
got to really, well, that, and I'm just getting older. And, I got a 22-year-old and a 17-year-old, man. You got to appreciate those small little moments because they just fly
Amen.
by you, man. And but yeah, I think that's what I get more out of here, more than just an income, is the fact that I'm doing something, leaving a
Oh,
legacy out
yeah.
there in the world, and making a difference in people's lives. And I'm not trying to toot horns, but it was a realization. It's like, I don't think I'm making a difference just because I'm seeing, small post rewards or whatever. But when I get these random comments, and sometimes it's like, hey, you did a post or whatever back then. Well, that really spoke to me, and blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Mm.
it's pretty cool, man. It gives you the warm and fuzzies. Just, it gives you those warm and fuzzies. I like it.
Like the warm and fuzzies, the ASMR effect of hearing something nice, little tingly feelings inside.
Yeah, man. You were talking about the ASMR in a coffee shop in your last post. I read
Oh,
that. I read that while I was waiting on you.
I don't know, man. When I wake up in the morning, you know, my first thing, I go to a coffee shop, I sit down, I type my article out for DBuzz, do all the posts, try to connect, make sure I didn't miss anything, talk with the team, connect the team, and then just to kind of unwind, I find my mind wandering into this weird shit. Excuse my language. I know PG show, but I find
Nah,
myself
you're fine.
wandering into weird stuff, and you know, I don't know. Gotta let it fly sometimes, right? Just open up the brain, let stuff come out.
Yeah, man. That's what like my lifestyle does for me. Because a lot of people in my videos, y'all just see the inside of my van, but a lot of times I'm out, like I'm looking at a beautiful pond where I got ducks, flying around. There's an eagle, or actually two of them, that are nesting in this tree over here. And I've been watching them for like a week now. And they'll dive bomb the pond and stuff and go and grab trout and then just fly off. I mean, you want to talk about patriotic, man. That'll make you feel American and patriotic right there real quick. It's like watching all the, big old giant bald eagles. Like they're huge and they just dive bomb into this pond and grab trout and they'll take off. They'll do that a couple times a day. But it's really cool watching that kind of stuff, and getting yours, and that is what sparks my creativity, getting out by a river or something like that. Or I'll go out to the coast and go and sit out there by the beach, and, because I've got this magic little thing called a hotspot, so I can get internet anywhere I want to go that's in range of a cell signal. So I try to put
I
myself in
wonder.
those situations, and that's what's great. I love this lifestyle, but one day it's going to come to an end. Like we were talking about, I may end up with a farm, and that farm may be mining some Bitcoin and growing, plants and doing all kind of things. So who knows?
Well, the in the Philippines, you know, our main operation, Data Loft's main operation is in the Philippines, and they actually have a beautiful farm out there right now. It's built along the road. They have acres of land. They're looking to NFT some of the land back there, so individual people can buy their own property and drive up there. But it's a beautiful space. I have yet to go see it in person, but I've seen numerous videos that Nathan has shared and Chris has shared with me of that facility, and just man, and
Yeah.
you buy the farm. It's beautiful. I would love to do that one day too.
I think NFTs are going to change the game for stuff like that too. So like I'm actually considering an NFT instead of doing like liquidity tokens for a DAO for my farm. I'm thinking about doing NFTs like we were talking about and actually selling like power by the watts kind of thing, like selling 5 watts or 10 watts of power, whatever for $10 kind of thing to help pay for the solar installations that will also be running miners all at the same time. I'm having to play around with power companies and that kind of thing. So, because apparently Alabama Power wants $5 per kilowatt capacity that you have. So, if you want to build a big farm, that's going to add up quick.
Wait, they want you to pay them for every kilowatt you make?
Yes. So I am, they're a mafia straight up. Like they're one of the 4 states in the country that doesn't allow what's called net metering, which allows you to actually push power back to the grid and get a credit for it. They're one of 4 states that don't have those laws, and Alabama Power is a mafia, and they don't want you to do it. So what I am planning to do is more like modular off-grid setups to where each panel section has like a corresponding little box with it that would have a battery backup with a ASIC or a little small GPU mining rig in it kind of situation. So it would be modular. So that way you would be like, okay, you're paying by the watt, so you buy NFT power and then you get a portion of that, the rewards from that rig kind of thing.
Oh,
that's my thought process. And then using also power to go in and, power all the lights and hydroponic setups and everything for the plants, because we're going to do all like eco-friendly local organics, because I'm wanting to grow food for me and then sell the leftovers, kind of thing. So I'm wanting to be self-sustainable. That's the whole part of this,
Well, Dan, when I come back to the States, bro, I'm going to come down and hang out with you in Alabama and stop through the Logical Dude farm and have some nice potatoes and whatever else you got growing over there.
Yeah, man. That's hopefully we can do that, man. So I finally got my parents on board. My mom's talking about cabins and stuff for weekend B&Bs, and I'm like, all right, I done got you thinking now. That's right. That was all I needed. But yeah, man. There's so many opportunities in this blockchain space. It's unreal, and I think SocialFi, the social platforms and stuff, are eventually going to be taking flight. We just need more, projects like yours to come into the fold and start taking those reins and start, and that's why I'm trying to push out this information to people, do these interviews with these awesome projects so that people see what we're building over here. Like I said, I'm trying.
Megaphone.
It's like it doesn't stop. There's so much going. Like I had an interview a couple weeks ago with the Speak guys, and so that was great, because I love that platform. And to see you guys so intertwined with them makes me really happy. Because what people also don't know, you actually designed the token logo for the Hivelist token and what we use for that. So I appreciate that.
Well, it's about giving back, right? No man is an island to themselves. We have to connect. And I think so many people in life ask what you can do for me before saying, here, have a gift. The world is about abundance, and the more we have the abundance mindset and give, I think we'll overcome the shortcomings of even money and trappings of financing. It'd be nice if we didn't have to worry about money in life, but it's here now.
It is, and that's why I think that we, are on the cusp of something amazing, because we're basically just, we're taking over the money printer. We're creating our own thing here, and that's what I like I like the foundational. I'm still, old school foundational. I like that we're breaking out of the system kind of thing, and I don't want to see it tie back into the system. It's like we got to break those chains, but we have to use the traditional systems to get the word out right now, because that's where everybody is still at. And that's what I'm going to try to do. And I'm going to make that commitment is to start pushing.
You are doing it.
Pushing through. But I want to make more of an effort using y'all's platform as well to push that out through, use DBuzz first to go to Twitter and that kind of thing, and if everybody makes that little bit of an effort, to say, instead of just jumping on Twitter, why don't you go to DBuzz first, post what you're going to post through DBuzz, because then it goes to Twitter too, and then you're earning a little something on it, and then you're going to eventually just kick Twitter to the curb. because that's what I call
Well, that's the thing. You earn a little bit of something, right? What do you get on Twitter? You get a
it.
couple
Nothing.
of likes. You feel nice inside, but that's about it. Why not earn a little bit something? That's what you hit the nail on the head with that too.
Yeah, man. You just get a couple of little likes. You maybe get a bot follow here and there. That kind of thing.
Well, as of right now, I could say I don't think we have. I don't think there's any too much automation happening on. We have no automation happening on DBuzz right now, at least none that we know of any
Yeah.
bots like self-publishing things for now. But they'll come eventually.
That's
They'll,
going to
they'll
be a whole
come.
change in the future too, man. Like I saw, who was it? Doltano put up a post of talking about this Jasper AI thing that's basically writing content and producing content that looks and sounds just like a human would sit there and write it, kind of thing, and it's kind of scary. It's like,
Future. We're human. Soon, maybe I'm just a robot. Maybe I'm just a fake, machine
but
pretending to be human right here.
but see
You
when
never
I
know.
but see when I try to do auto speak or do speak through my phone and autocorrect just totally murders it. I know we still have some time. And I'm an Apple guy, so I'm using Siri. They were one of the first ones, and they still can't get it right. So I'm not worried about AI just yet. I think it'll be more of a help than a hindrance down the line, hopefully. But, we'll see. Hopefully I'll be an old man, and my kids will be worried more about that than anything. So.
Then you'll be able to give them each one Hive token because it's worth $1 million by then. And be like, this is your inheritance, son. Take the one
Oh
token.
no, they've got some Hive. They've got my son is basically he's a self-proclaimed Bitcoin maxi basically. And he's like, I'm just all about the Bitcoin. He sees too much of the scams happening and all that, and he's just like, I don't want a part of it. I gave both of my kids like a few $100 worth of Splinterland stuff for Christmas, and neither one of them play it. But I go in there once a week and I compound their SPS and do all this kind of stuff for them. So they will have some stuff in the future. But
That's a loving father right there.
well, my
Taking
nieces
a,
too. Yeah, I got stuff put up for my nieces. I'm actually getting ready to make them Hive accounts and actually move their Bitcoin because I've got their stuff in Nexo, which used to earn interest until they decided to get all regulatory and everything. So now I just got to pull the Bitcoin out of there. I'm gonna put it into a Hive account, probably put it into some DeFi, let it earn some crazy interest, stack up some stable coins. So that
well, also,
my nieces also have a fun coming up because I'm just that I'm that kind of uncle. I'm that kind of family guy.
well, that's nice. They might not realize the gift it is now, right? Having
They
that
don't.
maybe a short URL name, having a short one-word app name, right? But 5 years down the road, we're going to be at two or three word names only, and maybe a couple of numbers at the end. And these short URL numbers or short names are going to be worth a lot of money. And even just selling that name to someone else in the future could generate a nice little profit for you.
That's definitely a thought too. Yeah, for sure. Because hey, it's like a domain name. It's essentially the same thing. It's better than a domain name, honestly.
Yeah,
So
it's locked in for life.
yeah, man, it's awesome. Well, do you have anything else that you want to bestow upon the crowd as far as with DBuzz or anything?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'd like to keep talking about and bestow upon the crowd, but we touched on the main things. DBuzz Lite, that platform is here. We're doing some final testing on it. I'll probably roll out a public testing link for that relatively soon. DBuzz token after that, hiring on some new staff to work on building stuff up. Oh, about the Buzz token. We are going to do an airdrop for that to the community based on people's using of DBuzz, not just a blanket one to everyone Hive because some people don't use it at all. So we don't have the mechanics quite worked out yet, but basically the more you post, the more Buzz token you will earn. Who knows what's going to be valued at, right? Free market, but that's something that's always out there.
There's
And
some
you
alpha
want to
for the
collaborate.
crowd. Heck yeah. That's some
Yeah, why
solid
not?
That's some solid alpha for you right there. It's like use the platform and you're gonna get rewarded for that down the line. Just so you know, it's there. It's
It's
gonna be
coming.
coming.
I'm not here, but it's coming. And also, we want to collaborate with people like yourself and other people. If you have ideas, we're a small team. We're not Twitter. We're not even blockchains. We're a really small team. It's like maybe 5 of us currently actively working on the project between people who engage in the accounting and the development and myself. But we want to collaborate and work with people. We might be slow about getting back, but we want to connect. And if anyone out there wants to connect and have an idea, wants to do a guest post on DBuzz, or wants to do more, talk like this, 100% we're in.
Absolutely.
Reach out and hit me up. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll definitely keep throwing the word out for you guys as well, because I love what you guys are doing over there. I really, it's like I keep telling people, and we always get the win project blank. Well, I'm like, well, we already have DBuzz. It's like, why aren't you using what we already have? Why wait on a mysterious platform that is not, I don't know. It's been in talks for about 2 years. DBuzz has been building for about that long.
Well, we think competition is good, right?
I love,
Yeah.
Well, one thing too is, Chris Rice, helped me out when I got Hiveless started a lot, helped me get some of my, with state of the D apps and stuff going. You guys sent me that awesome logo. So, appreciate all of that. And yeah, so I've always appreciated what you guys are trying to do. Y'all have the same kind of mindset that I do behind this versus just trying to make money off of a project. Y'all have that community focus behind it, and you're trying to give something back to humanity. And that's why I like to support you guys. So.
Thank you much, brother. And we want to try to support you too. Let us know whatever way you need. We're here to help you out.
Absolutely. We're going to keep doing it. So everybody go check out D.Buzz. It is microblogging on the Hive platform. You've heard it here. There's all kind of awesome stuff coming. Do you have anything else? Because, I don't want to hold you up. It's late night for you over there, where you're at. So I'm just getting my day started. So if you got anything else, we'll say it. If not, we'll close it out.
I'm going to go grab a midnight banh mi down the road here in Da Nang, Vietnam. If anyone out there comes through Vietnam, hit me up. I'll take you out for a drink and talk about Hive. But otherwise, that's all I got for today. If we have any more news, I'll let you know.
All right. Well, Jacuzzi, man, I appreciate you. Go follow him on Hive. He's always got some great posts, some great travel stuff, seeing some amazing places. So, if you get the chance, go join him on some of those travels. So, you guys have a great rest of your day. Everybody be cool, be real, always abide, and don't get wrecked out there in those crazy markets. Peace out.